Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Eleftheria and today I'm going to show you something completely different than I usually do. As this video has already started, I'm going to go super quickly, and as you can see, I'm working with Photoshop. Let me tell you a few things about what I'm going to do. In a few days, or let's say better, in a couple of weeks, a colleague and I have to go to a conference to present our diploma thesis. In order to go to that conference, one of the things that we have to do is to create a poster. For the poster, I have already some images that I know that I want to use, and I have also the text. The text and the images are mostly provided by my colleague, but now I have to compose this poster. So I thought that it will be a good example of me showing you how to create a poster. Now this is going to be the very first video of a series of how it's going to be with the Photoshop and the revisions that we are going through in order to create the final result. So this is the first video, but there are coming more and more videos, so you can also see the evolution of how it started and how it ended, and I will try to explain you the things that I'm doing and why I'm also doing them. So because this is the first revision, pretty much I just had an example on my mind, and then I saw it to my colleague and he liked it, so now it's time to continue with the Photoshop. I passed 2 images, 2 diagrams, and now I'm also passing the bibliography. The text is in Greek because I'm from Greece, and but I don't think that this is the important stuff. I think the important thing so far is that I used the rulers in order to divide the paper, and now I have these blocks and I know in every block what I want. For example, in the bottom I'm going to have these 2 diagrams, the blue ones, and then I'm going to have in the right part the bibliography. And now I'm creating this block of text that it has the text for the diagrams, the blue ones. I'm going to add another diagram, and here you have to be very careful when you are resizing your images or your diagrams or whatever, because the resolution maybe it's too small, and because now you're working on Photoshop, maybe you are not seeing the full resolution, but when you are going to print, the design maybe will look quite horrible, and you will say why in Photoshop everything looks cool, but then in a big paper it won't look very cool. Here these images are already in a big resolution, so I'm not going to have problem with them, but we will see if I'm going to have a problem with the diagrams, because as you saw I resized them. I have another image here. This is a quite simple sketch, so maybe I'm not going to have a problem again here, but for the smaller diagrams I'm still afraid what it's going to look like. But you can keep watching the rest of the videos and I will let you know. Okay, let's add some more images or some more diagrams, and let's also change a little bit the structure. I think that I prefer it in that way because later I'm going to add the text, and I know that first I'm going to talk about these diagrams and later about the other ones. So I'm going to change them, and I can guess that I'm going to change them actually a lot of times until we come with a final result. Another thing that I'm not going to do right now is every time you have an image, right after the image you have to add some text to explain that image. I'm not going to do this right now because I'm not sure about the position of its image. The text is the easy part, so I'm not going to do this right now, but I'm going to leave some space in order to do that later, probably in a next video. Okay, I have added here 2 images, the left and the right one, but I don't really like them, so maybe also in a later revision I'm going to change these 2 images again. Okay, so now in the top part I'm going to add the title of this paper. I'm also going to style it a little bit. I'm pretty sure that also the title and some other things are going to change, but I'm going to try to do it as best as possible. So in the top I have the title, and then I'm having the names of the people that have participated in order for this conference to be available for all of us. So it's my colleague and I, and then 2 professors. After that, I'm also going to have our universities, because we are not all of us from the same university. I will try to style it a little bit again, maybe even change the color and add some space. Every time the space is very important. Sometimes the designers keep forgetting it, but for the final result you have to have in mind the space. Having space makes it look more simple but also more elegant, so I would suggest to add spaces every time that you can add it. Alright, I'm going to add a few more text in this upper part here, and I'm going to divide it into the left and right part. So let's start with the left part, and I'm going to align everything in here. Now I have a lot of text, but I don't think that I'm going to use all of this. So we'll start styling it and then also deleting the text that I don't really want. I think that I like the font size and the font family, but I certainly don't like how much text we have. Maybe in a later revision, I don't know, we will delete some of this text. I'm going to read it to know that everything that I have written here is something that we need, because the space it's not very big, so it should only keep the important things. And I'm going to do the same thing with the right part. Again, I have a lot of text that probably I don't need it. I'm going to try with the images to explain everything that the text has. For some additional text, I'm going to add it here above this image. And now I think that I'm going to add also some text below this image. I have a lot of text, but for the images I think that we are fine. So eventually I added the text above the image, but later maybe I will change it again. I'm trying to squeeze as much as text as possible, and sometimes it's working, but sometimes I don't like it. So I'm changing the size. And okay, I think that was for the very first revision. Maybe I'm going to send this to my colleague and we will continue with the second revision. So I will get some suggestions about the things that I have to change, and then in the next video I'm going to show you how this ended up. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any suggestion about future videos, let me know. If you like this one, then please share and subscribe.